Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. Today we have another lesson in Mega Goal 6. But before we start the new lesson, let's take a quick recap for the previous lesson. In the previous lesson, we talked about, or we had a writing lesson on page 62. In this lesson, we focused on a technique or on a way of writing an essay. We focused on how to write a summary of an essay. If you read an essay about anything, and we have here, or we've had an example about an essay, a persuasive essay that is called Why Gossip is Boring. The title is Why Gossip is Boring, and in this essay, the author is trying to persuade us that gossip is boring. After we've read the essay together, we talk some steps that help us to learn how to write a summary for the essay. We've read the essay together. We answered the questions about the essay. We discussed each one of them. We said that it's important to read some questions, to put in mind some questions before we read anything, because that helps us to think and reflect profoundly on anything that we are going to read. And after reading, we did the exercise together. Then we identified the main idea of the essay on exercise number 4. After that, we went to this page where we learn how to fill the chart properly by putting the main ideas on the left side and paraphrasing the ideas on the right side. We've talked about the main idea, and we said the meaning of the main idea is that the most important ideas in each paragraph. When we read an essay, there are, of course, many paragraphs, and in each paragraph there are some ideas. In the main idea, what we do is that we summarize, we try to introduce or represent these ideas in a shorter form. Okay? This way is called summary. So we are summarizing an essay by rewriting this essay in a shorter form. There is an important thing that we should put in mind while we do any summary, is that we have to paraphrase. Why do we paraphrase? Because once we write anything, we are not allowed to use the exact words of the author, because this is called plagiarism. And plagiarism is not allowed because it doesn't respect the intellectual property of the author. So what should we do in this case? We take the ideas and we represent them by using our own words. So we put the main ideas on the left side, then we paraphrase them. We rewrite these ideas by using our own words. We've followed these steps. Then after that, we've had an example on this page, and after that, we read in the writing corner some advices that could help us to write a summary about any essay or a book that we read. And we said that the most important points that you should identify the main ideas and use your own words, and don't include examples, because we are writing summary. We are writing the ideas in nutshell, so we don't have much space to include these examples. So after that, we have to put in mind that we are writing a summary of someone's essay. Then in this case, we shouldn't introduce any new ideas of our own, because we are not writing something that belongs to us. We are representing the ideas of someone else, so we have to be faithful for his or her ideas. We should use appropriate linkers like however, furthermore, in addition, first of all, secondly, finally, and so on. And the last point is don't plagiarize. You have to rewrite or you have to use your own words. Don't use the author's exact words. And after that, we went to the workbook on page 44 and we had this exercise. We urge you to do this exercise by your own as a practice for what we have learned together. Today on page 64, we have the 11th lesson in this unit, which is form, meaning, and function. Our lesson today is divided into 3 parts. In the first part, we will talk about the body, the human body parts. After that, we will talk about models and giving advice in the present and the future. And after that, we will talk about the usages of modal verbs. Now let's start with the first part in the form, meaning, and function. This part is kind of a revision for what we have learned before in previous years. Words connected to parts of the body. Here we have 16 words. Each word represents a part of the body. So all you have to do right now is to read these words. We will read these words together, and after that, I want you to match each word with the part of the body. Number 1 is eye. Number 2, hand. Number 3, nose. Number 4, throat. Number 5, head. Number 6, mouth. Number 7, leg. Number 8, neck. Number 9, arm. Number 10, ear. 11, back. Foot, knee, shoulder, teeth, and the last word is stomach. You can match the words with the parts of the body of the person, or you can go ahead to the workbook on page 45 and use the words in this exercise, or you can fill these gaps by using the words in this part. So use these words after you match them with each part of the body. Then go to page 46. We have 16 words that I want you to use here in these blanks. We have here a picture of a boy. We have a human body here. And we have 16 parts of the body in this page. Use these parts on the suitable blanks. You can take, or you can pause the video right now, take some time to do the exercise by your own, then after that you can resume and check your answers with our answers in the following slide. Okay, now we will go to the page where we have a slide. Number 1, head, ear, neck, shoulder, arm, hand, nose, mouth, stomach, leg, knee, and the last one is feet. After that, today, we have models and given advice in the present and the future. We've talked before about the modal verbs. We said that the modal verbs can be the verb be, am, is, are, was, were. They also can be can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, and should, in addition to must. And the last thing is that we have the words have, has, and had. All these are called modals or modal verbs. We will start talking about the modals and given advice in the present and future. We can give advice by following or by using some of the words like ought to, had better, or should to give advice. Or we can, in the negative, ought not to or should not to. Okay? All these are ways to give advice to a person. For example, we have here a conversation between Ali and Majid. Ali says, the candidate for mayor said he would build a sport complex and lower taxes. We should vote for him. We should vote for him. Majid says, I don't agree. The news story says that he is not telling the truth. We had not vote for that candidate. He had better vote. We had better vote for someone else. So we have three expressions: ought to, had better, and should or should not to. We use all these expressions to give an advice for a person, either in the negative or in affirmative form. Now, let's focus on the word ought not to, or the expression ought not to, and says that we should put in mind that we don't use, or we use this expression in the formal situations or in written purposes. So we use it to write something or in formal situations. Now, after we've talked about each one of these expressions, we will go now to the exercise where we're going to discuss or to practice what we have just learned. We said that we have three expressions: ought to, should, and had better. And they are all used to give an advice about something. Let's start with an example to make everything clearer for you. A. Ali is always making fun of my younger brother. B. You should talk to Ali and explain how hurtful his behavior is. So now we have in A a problem, and in B we have an advice or a solution to this problem. Now in this exercise, we have problems on the left side and we have advices on the right side. Okay, what should we do in this case? We should start reading the problems. Then after that, match each problem with the proper advice. For example, number one is, I heard a rumor about you. I heard a rumor about you. I will help you, or we will answer the first one together. Then after that, pause the video, take some time, do the exercise by your own, then go back, resume, and go check the answers so you can know if your answers are correct or not. But firstly, before we start anything, we have to understand what is the task. What are we asked to do? We have to match the problem with the proper advice. So we have problems that needs to be matched with the advices. Number one, I heard a rumor about you. I heard a rumor about you. Now we have A, B, C, D, E, F. We need to choose one of them. To be able to choose the correct answer, we have to identify the key words. Now we have here heard a rumor. Heard a rumor. Now let's go to the right side and read the answers so we can find the proper choice for number one. Number one says, or A says, you take a rest. B, go to the dentist. These two are irrelevant to number one. So after that we have C, tell the teacher, tell me what you heard. She, about other people. F, drink warm liquids. So we have here a problem about hearing a rumor. Which one do you think is the most suitable choice? The most suitable one is D. You ought to, or you had better, or you should tell me what you heard. Why we used all these? Because we've said that they are all correct ways to give advice to someone. Okay, now you can take some time, complete the rest of the exercise by your own, then go back to check the rest of the answers. Okay, number 2. We are very tired. The answer is A, you ought to, had better, should take a rest. Number 3, Maryam is always gossiping. She shouldn't talk about other people. Why here we used she shouldn't talk about other people? She shouldn't. We haven't used the 3 expressions because we've said that we used ought to only or ought not to. We use it only in the formal situations. Number 4 is Ahmed has a toothache. He ought to or had better should go to the dentist. Number 5 is F. They ought to had better should drink warm liquids. Number 6, Faisal cheated on the test. You ought to had better should tell the teacher. Now we will go to the third part in our lesson today, which is modals, auxiliaries for the present and future. The modals, auxiliaries are used for many purposes, and we are going to have or to talk about these purposes, and we will have some examples about each type of them. In number 1, we have the first type or the first usage for the modals, auxiliaries, which is the ability. When we want to talk about something and show how we able or not able to do it, we use can and be able, like I am able or she is able, to express the ability in the present, to express ability in the present. For example, can you keep a secret? Yes, I can, or no, I can't. Is he able to discover who started the rumor? We use can and will be able to express ability in the future. So this is the difference. We use in the first one can and able to express the ability in the present, and we use can and will be able to express an ability in the future. For example, we have, will you be able to speak to the principal? Yes, I will, or no, I won't. The second usage is that we use the modals, auxiliaries to ask for permission. To ask for permission. We use 2 words to ask for permission. If you want to do something and you need a permission, for example, if you want to leave the classroom, you ask the teacher for permission. How do we ask for permission? We can use may or can. We use may and can to express permission. For example, may I leave early today? Yes, you may, or no, you may not. Or by using can I have another soda? Yes, you can, or no, you can't. The third type is to request, to ask for something. We use can and could to make polite requests. Could is more formal. So we use could when we ask someone that we don't know, or we use could usually in the formal situations. For example, here we have, could I have the check, please? Or can I speak with you? Can and could are the words that we use to request something. After that, we have possibility. What is the meaning of possibility? The chance of something, the chance of something happening or not happening. We use may, might, and could to talk about the possibility of something. And we use can't to talk about impossibility. For example, we say, he can't be my friend because I saw my friend traveled to Mecca yesterday. Okay? So can't is used to talk about the impossibility of something. If we want to show the possibility of something, we use may, might, and could. May, might, and could are words that used to talk about the possibility of anything. For example, do you think he might give away the secret? After that, we have obligation and necessity. We have obligation and necessity. In the obligation and necessity, we are talking about something that you have to do, something that you don't have the choice of not to do that thing. We use must or need to and have to express obligation and necessity. Obligation and necessity, if we say that you are obliged or this thing is necessary, that means you don't have the choice of not doing that thing. And we use should to give an advice. For example, you must stop gossiping, or you mustn't spread rumors. These are words that we use for obligation. After that, we have you should or you shouldn't. In the number one, you should talk about events and not about people. Number two, you shouldn't tell anyone what you know. Here, as we have learned, that we use should to give advice. So, if you read this sentence, you will understand that we are not talking about an obligation or necessity. We are just giving an advice to someone. You should talk about events, not about people. Let's put in mind that the word must is stronger than should. It has more formal and official tone. So the word must has a formal and official tone, while the word should has a friendly and an advice tone. Now let's go to exercise C. On exercise C, circle the correct verb to complete each sentence. If both verbs are possible, circle both. Here you can choose either circling or underlining. You can circle the correct answer, or if you want, you can underline the correct answer. We went for the underlining. Number one is an example. My grandmother said that we should call her this week. Now let's do number two together and understand why we have chosen this word or that word, or we've chosen both of them. Number two, the teacher told us we have a test this week. Which one do you think is the proper answer? May or could? Now here, the teacher told us we have a test this week. She is talking about a possibility of something, and we have just talked about the possibility. And we said that there are certain modals, auxiliaries that we use with the possibilities. So the answer is both of them, may and could, because may, might, and could are words that used to talk about the possibility of anything. Number three, Ali said after he passes his test, he drive his father's car. So Ali has just passed the test, and he's talking about driving his father's car. So is he talking about something in the past or in the present or in the future? Yes, he's talking about something in the future. So what is the correct answer? Both of them, can or will be able to. Number four, the news reporter said that the missing helicopter can or could be in the Atlantic Ocean. Number five, the teacher explained that the student shouldn't gossip about other students. Number six, Faisal and Omar said they may or might play football later. We ought to go and play too. Number seven, my brother said he may or might go to Dubai on vacation this year. Number eight, that can't be the man we saw yesterday. The man we saw was much taller. Number nine, my father has to work late today, and so he won't be able or can't join us for dinner. Number 10, excuse me, can you help me find the accounts department. Now we will go to the last part in our lesson today. Go to the workbook on page 48. We have exercise N. On exercise N, we have here a list of things that we need to give advices about. Read what these people said. Answer the questions with your advice. You can use the words must, should, ought to, and had better. We have in number 1, I have a sore throat and my friend wants to talk to me on the phone. What should I do? The answer here is you shouldn't talk to your friend on the phone now. Why? Because he has a sore throat. You can pause the video right now, do the exercise by your own, give advices, and after that, you can go back to the video, resume the video, check the answers. All the answers we have here are suggested answers, because in each exercise or in each part of the exercise, we have questions that the answer depends on your opinion. So each one of us will have a different opinion, so the answers will vary. But we will show you some suggested answers. For number 1, my sister has a toothache. Her tooth hurts a lot and she can't sleep. What should she do? She ought to go to the dentist. Number 2, I have a stomachache and I have to meet my uncle at a restaurant. What should I do? You mustn't eat anything at the restaurant. Number 3, I didn't study for tomorrow's history test. It's late now and I feel sleepy. What should I do? You should go to bed now and wake up early to study for the test. Number 4, Amal told me that Fatima is spreading rumors about me. Now I feel hurt and I don't want to go to school. What should I do? The answer is you should go to school and confront Fatima. The last one is Ali and his brother have the flu, but their football match is this afternoon. What should they do? They had better not play football if they have the flu. This is the last part of our lesson today. Thank you all for attending and I wish you enjoy the rest of the day. Assalamu alaikum.